What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is episode number 4 of the TAGcast Podcast. I am here with my lovely co-host, Mr. Kamara. Mr. Kamara, how are you, bro? You know, always tech audio, but at least we found out early. Not like talking for 20 minutes like last time. All right. Well, Mr. Kamara is figuring out his little audio situation. I guess I'll kind of go in with the little spiel. Oh wait, hold on. I guess he won't let me do the spiel yet. Okay, all right. So the spiel is TAGcast Podcast is a proud entity of the Allied Guardians and are sponsored and partnered by Tower LFG and the Destiny Community Network. Wow, I'm getting really good at that. I'm like, I don't stutter on it as much anymore. What'd I say? What do you mean? How'd I stop? I have to stop at some point. I don't give the huge spiel anymore. Yeah. So it's not a whole spiel because everybody knows and it'll get tiresome. So, and then I guess I could say, exclamation mark Tower LFG in the Twitch chat, and the Tower LFG subscription will be in the YouTube channel. And same thing goes for the Destiny Community Network. Exclamation mark DCN. See, I stuttered there. You know what? You made me mess up. Exclamation mark. Also can't hear Mr. Kamara. Okay, did you situate your thing, or should we be able to hear you? Dang, your computer doesn't want us doing this podcast.
Not at all.
Wow, we're only in episode 4, so we're still in very, very early stages of producing this. Within the next few weeks, this is going to run flawless. I'm not going to stutter on any spiels. We're not going to have any tech issues, knock on wood, and we're just going to have this thing smooth sailing. I'm very, very excited for it. But I guess while we, anybody who's in the Twitch channel, how's your day? How's your day? You guys excited for the weekend? You guys excited for any of that stuff? Like, what's happening? Let's go. Let me know. I'm waiting for Mr. Kamara to come
Hey, we're almost good. All
right, we're almost good. Almost. All right, because you guys can't hear him. So.
I think we're fine now.
Oh, okay. All right. Twitch
yeah, we're chilling
as we're talking. Okay, all right. So yeah, just let us know if you cannot hear him or if you can hear him, just so we know on our feedback, so we can fix any tech issues moving forward. We should have like a technical producer for TAGcast.
Totally.
He just hangs in behind the scenes and fixes any tech audio that we have.
Yeah, but I think it requires third-party access to our stream labs. So I don't know what people use for that, but yeah, we can totally do that.
I'd be down. Just like have someone like on standby who can fix it, But Ensnare, who is a part of the TAG Esports division, says he's excited to do trials carries this weekend. Well, that sounds wonderful. I'm excited for you to do trials carries because trials carries are lovely and a wonderful thing to help the community out. It's wonderful. So,
good luck.
Mr. Kamara, tell me about your day though, since now the audience can actually hear you.
The day was good. Nothing too special. I'm hoping to move positions in my job, or do something a little bit different. I did apply for Bungie. 2 positions there at Bungie. One of them they did not go with me. So hopefully the other one I hear back from them with a positive thing. But it is what it is. There's always a future. So, yeah. But today wasn't too bad. How about yours? What'd you do today? I literally just worked and came home.
Yeah, what did I do today? I actually hung out today. Today was like one of those days I didn't really have to do anything, I slept in a little bit. It was pouring out this morning. So it was like one of those like, oh, you didn't want to get out of bed because it was pouring. So like I was really comfortable in bed. So I slept in until about 9:15. Then I woke up, took a nice shower, and then I made myself a cup of coffee and I did a little bit of like school prep, kind of looking at some things, like future classes to take. Tomorrow my day is going to kind of consist of calling the school, my university, like doing some phone calls and getting everything lined up. I had to apply for a student loan, so I had to deal with that. So I was doing that a lot today. Other than that, I just chilled and I was watching Grenader Jake on YouTube, and I just like binge watched a lot of his stuff. It was a lot of fun.
YouTube frog on G Jake.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't really get to watch his YouTube because I spent a lot of time in his Twitch channel over the weekend. So I don't really get to watch his YouTube. So it was really fun watching the copycat cards that I do miss sometimes. Or, he does like a copycat card where he like copies the other players' loadouts. For those of you who don't know, you're putting a Spotify thing in my
I know
camera.
my Spotify crashed again.
Dude. So so I like watching that because I think that allows for some cool gameplay, which is really, really cool. So, but other than that, I just kind of hung out and did nothing, had a nice lunch, I had a good dinner, and then I came up here, I looked at my gen eds, what I need, and kind of blocked out. I made a spreadsheet of like all my gen eds I need to take for the rest of my college career, and hopefully most of them I'll finish by spring of 2023, and that'd be really, really nice.
Dude, gen eds are rough.
I know, dude, they are. The hardest ones are going to be the second language and the healthy living one. Other than
Second
that, most of the
language
other
is
ones
easy. I think because in high school you didn't wait. Did you guys not have that requirement for high school?
Oh, high school we had to take it, but like it wasn't.
It's
like,
non-transferable.
I don't know. See, like what do you mean? Like like did you have to
Like-
take it 4 years in order for you not to have to take it?
No,
In
so
college?
I don't think I don't think it was a requirement for me in college because at my high school was a college prep school, and so some of the classes you take there can transfer over to college, and one of those was your language, and so I took like 4 or 5 years in American Sign Language, and then 2 of them were required for high school, but the other ones I just did on my own. But that's weird. I guess I never really thought about like the difference in schools.
They might be, because it's funny because I'm looking at my gen eds and I might have to ask my girlfriend Leah, because she placed out of Spanish. She took the Spanish placement test and she passed. So I didn't take that yet, but I'm not comfortable to go take it. So, but when I look at my gen ed scorecard, it shows me that it says I need 0 units to for it, but then it says that like I have taken 0, like it says 0 across the whole board. So I'm wondering, I'm gonna have to ask
If it says 0, I don't think it's required.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm really, really hoping. So I'm going to actually call. That's one of my phone calls tomorrow, is to call the registrar's office and see if that's a requirement. Because if it's not, that's amazing. Because I really don't want to take it. Not that I don't want to learn a second language. It's just I'm not going to be good enough.
Well, it's a lot of time, man.
It's a lot of time, and it's like you have to be really skilled. It's like taking piano. You don't learn piano in 1 semester. You have to like take years and years of practice to be like really, really good and fluent at it. And that's the same thing. And especially if I'm at a job and I only have maybe 2 years in my belt, they're gonna get somebody who's actually native speaking to help a person who speaks the native language. They're not gonna come to a person like me. Which is fair. I wouldn't want them coming to me personally, because I would not be the qualified person for that job,
Well, it's just more experience and...
Exactly,
No, I get you, man. I get you.
Right. So, if I worked for like a native country or something and they needed an English person, I'd be totally qualified for that.
Right, it's your first language.
Flipped. Exactly, right. So that for some of them, it's their first language. So, but so other than that, that's really well. And then my girlfriend comes up this weekend. I'm gonna be basically on vacation a little bit. So Mr. Kamara, for those who don't know, will be taking over TA Guardians a little bit, because he's the co-founder. He'll be leading the charge while I'm on a mini vacation with my girlfriend for about a week and a half.
You guys are stuck with me.
Yeah, you guys are stuck. So I will not be here for 2 weeks from now, because there was an update. I can even create a command and have it posted or whatever, but TAGcast is moving to a bi-weekly update or schedule for now, just until me and Mr. Kamara, since we're both college students and we both, do a little bit he works full time, but then I do a little bit of work, now I'm probably going to be starting jobs and stuff when I go back to school and stuff. So, it just makes sense to go bi-weekly, especially maybe during a DLC or a season, we could do every other week or every week for a little bit, because there's so much to talk about, so much
right at the start of it all.
Right, but then like when we get to a middle of a season, like we are, I mean, not really middle, but we're into the season, there's not much new, anything exciting. Honestly, seasons, if there's really no big update, there's no need to do every week, but DLCs, there's so much that for a little bit, it could be every week, because there's so much to talk about, again, within our schedules, our guest schedules, and the tech crew that helps make TAGcast possible.
Yeah, totally.
But Yeah, so that'll be really exciting. But all right, you have a cool icebreaker. So let's do the icebreaker, and then we'll just jump right in. This is gonna be a shorter episode today, probably a little over an hour, and then that'll be it. There's not much new or exciting to talk about in Destiny. So, but we'll just jump right into it. So what's the icebreaker for us?
Okay. Do you have any, or have you had any weird, or like, I wouldn't say, maybe you could include like a gross, but like some sort of food thing that you enjoyed that is probably considered weird to other people, or like something that like isn't normal and like you just like it? Do you have anything like that, or have you had anything like that? Don't be afraid, because mine's pretty fucking weird.
Well, I want to hear yours because I got to think on that for a minute. So I want to hear yours. I want to hear your explanation. So I'm going to think on it while you're explaining yours.
So like this is when I was a kid. Okay, I was a child, little baby Zachary. All right, running around, right? For me, that's sour cream. But sour cream is good. Sour cream is like, that's good. Are you? No, he's saying he likes it.
He's saying he likes it.
I think so.
Oh,
I think this is something like almost like a guilty pleasure food, like something that you like to eat or have that is probably considered a little weird to some people.
I would say probably for me like ham steak and pierogies.
What?
I don't know if that's weird. Ham steak and pierogies, or kibasi and pierogies.
What the hell are those? I don't think I've ever heard of. Hey, what's a pierogi?
You never heard of a pierogi?
I live on the West Coast. We don't have pierogies. I don't have a fucking pierogi stand chilling next to me at my house.
I'm changing my answer. Okay, eating hot sauce out of the bottle.
That's interesting.
That's weird. That's really interesting.
That's very interesting.
I was not expecting to look over and read that, but you've never had it. I know because Leah has never had it, and she's a little bit south from me. Texas wieners.
Is that like a restaurant, or are you just talking about like Texas wieners? Like, what's happening?
So,
like, you have some explaining to do, sir. Give me the context, please. I love me some good Texas wieners. Like, what?
So Texas wieners are little like hot dogs.
Are they Vienna sausages?
Huh? No, they're hot dogs.
Huh?
They're hot. So they're little wiener hot dogs, like wiener dogs, and you slice. So how you cook them is you slice them down the middle, and you like kind of have, so they're like flapped. Okay.
Is it an octopus hot dog?
No, it's not. What the hell is an octopus hot dog? I never heard.
It's got tentacles like an octopus, but it's the bottom of a hot dog.
Dude, you've been watching too much Okay, so anyway, so basically, anyway, you cut it's a little wiener dog that you cut down the side, and
when you say wiener dog, are you talking about just a hot dog?
Yes, a hot dog.
Okay, they call it a fucking hot dog, not a wiener dog. That's an animal.
All right, fine. It's called a wiener then. All right.
It's called a wiener.
You ever see that SpongeBob episode, the Krusty Dogs? He's like, wiener.
Yeah.
Oh,
Church
man.
is here. Good evening, good sir.
What up, Church? So anyway,
okay, explain to me what a Texas wiener is.
All right, I'm getting there if you stop interrupting me. All right, hold all questions to the end. All right. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, you put it on a griddle, okay, and you grill it, okay, and then while you're doing that, you put your bun. There's actually like up around here, there's Texas wiener buns, or they're like like kind of rolls. They look like, and you toast them on the griddle as well. And a traditional Texas wiener, I don't need a traditional, kind of like all the stuff on it, but it's the wiener sauce, which is just like chili sauce. It's just a little bit different. It doesn't have like the beans and stuff in it, it's put on the hot dog, and then you put onions and mustard on it. Now,
so it's a fucking hot dog.
It's not a hot dog though, because
you just explained a hot dog.
No, it's not a hot.
So if I look up Texas wieners on Google, is it gonna know what it is, or is this some TOS material?
I will check because we're not showing my screen. Let me see. I never looked it up.
Because I'm gonna look up Texas wiener right here in front of everyone.
Yeah. All right. So hold on. Let me double check. Okay. Yes, you can go ahead and look it up.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am positive. I would not risk our careers
Texas
on TAGcast.
wieners. Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good.
I swear, bro.
Dude, why would I jeopardize our career and show?
I have Wiener Schnitz. Oh, this is showing near my location, I think.
Do. Oh God! All right, I'm scared now.
Images. Okay, so it's like almost like an abnormally long hot dog.
No, but it's not annoying. I know you're.
Is it the topping?
Let me see. Hold on.
Hold on. Does the topping make a Texas wiener?
The wiener sauce and the ingredients that go with it and the way you grill it. It's
so
not.
The toppings.
Basically, yes. Sorry. I'm trying to.
The way you cook it, it looks like it's cooked on a fucking grill, just like every other hot dog.
Let me see. I'm trying to find. You good? Like, no. I mean, it's different, bro. All right.
That's interesting.
After I thought about it, I was like, wait, yeah, see, like Texas wiener, Scranton, PA. It's really a northeastern Pennsylvania thing. It's funny. Like it was funny. I went to get my haircut one day, like Leah was in, right? And she just came with me, as I went to go get it. And I was telling my barber, because she was in there sitting, and I was like, Leah's never had a Texas wiener, or she didn't know what Texas wieners were when I first met her. And he goes, what? Like, it's such a popular northeastern thing,
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so really, honestly, you think it's like a hot dog, and it basically is.
A hot dog cut in a unique way?
It's a cut in unique way.
Is it just cut down once?
Yeah, you cut it down, and then you make a flap.
Oh, dude, I used to do this as a kid because I was lazy.
Right.
So I used to cut my hot dogs in the middle and throw them on like a flat, like a skillet almost, and then cook them on both sides. On a griddle.
And then you cook it on both sides, and you cook the bun with it, and then you put wiener sauce, which is actual things you buy in the store near us. That's called wiener sauce. Now we actually my parents make their own sauce.
Oh, you guys make your own wiener sauce,
right? So, which it's very delicious, but it's like an all-day process. But how they make it all day is they make abundance of it and then put it in Tupperwares. And anytime
so the whole family's making wiener sauce, and you put it into one container and store it all.
No, it's multiple containers, like broken up into pounds. I hate you.
Are you guys just all in a circle making wiener sauce?
It's like a ritual.
Okay, I'm done.
I hate you. All right, so now we're done with me. We're done making fun of me. All
right, you ready to make fun of me?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
So as a kid, I actually forgot about it. I will unfollow with your dialogue. Thanks.
Yikes, Mrs.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so I was super little, and I forgot about this for a long time. And my dad just like recently brought it up. I don't know how to like even introduce this. Basically, I used to dip pears into ketchup and eat it. And I was like a child, and my parents and everyone used to make fun of me for it all the time. Yasmin still makes fun of me for it.
I'm about to start making fun of you.
And like I legitimately forgot about it, and like last year my dad brought it up, and she won't ever let me live it down. It wasn't even for a long time. It just, I don't know why it was a thing for me, but it was, and it was very interesting. Yeah. So that's kind of mine. What do you think?
That's worse than mine.
How dare you? That is very interesting. What does it taste like? I don't remember.
You should try it out. If you liked it before, you might like it again. Try it out.
Like, I genuinely don't remember, like, what it is.
Yeah, how did the addiction start from via Mrs. Kamara?
How did the addiction start? What went wrong? You see, here's when everything went wrong. It was the day I was born.
Damn it, I was just about to say that. It all started.
I was born. Yeah, for real. Ketchup maybe being sweet, maybe. I don't know what it was. The thing is as a kid, I think like I feel like this is true with a lot of kids. Is like ketchup is one of the first like sauces that you kind of eat, you know? And so I think that the sauce, that was like my first sauce that I had, and that was like the one that, you know, I was like, oh damn, this shit is good, you know what I mean? And I think it just like kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just kind of like, it was like, damn, this is pretty good. And then I was eating like mangoes one day, and or pears, and then I was just like, damn, this shit is good, I guess. I don't know.
Nice.
I was a weird kid eating weird shit.
You're still weird now.
Yeah, it's true. I'll tell you about this one time. I was eating applesauce in out of those little like Mott's containers, you know. And I don't know why I was like hanging out with Charlie. We were like super little, like almost baby little. And we started like putting goldfish into our applesauce for some reason.
Ew.
Yeah, it was right. And I started eating it, and I didn't realize there was a goldfish in the spoonful of applesauce that I had, and I started choking on the goldfish, and dude, I almost like died.
I feel bad for laughing.
Not laugh, dude, it was funny.
All right, good. I'm glad you say I can laugh.
Our pear's sour, so maybe you wanted something sweet in it. Yeah, that could be it, like a sweet and sour thing. Imagine you getting those apple slices from McDonald's that are supposed to be dipped in caramel, but you mix it up with ketchup.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. But yeah, that was kind of my like, that was my one weird thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It was a very interesting time in my life.
That was a good icebreaker. You found out some interesting things from
some little
both
facts.
me and Mr. Yeah, me and
This is
Mr.
the lore
Kamara.
right here.
That's
At a
It's
very
the
young
lore.
age, he was eating pears and ketchup.
and then his partner in crime was eating a Texas wiener.
Yeah, Texas wieners.
Oh man.
You didn't have anything
Well,
like gross that never came, that wasn't supposed to be together?
I don't really. No, I don't think honestly.
The music with pears and ketchup. The music was like pretty. The music that was playing was pretty like. Dun 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 dun. You know what I mean?
Nice. I can't hear the music, so yeah, but I believe that. That's funny. It's like suspense music, but I don't really think I have like.
You're a
that I
normal
can
person?
think of. No, I'm definitely not a normal person. Let's get that straight. No, I don't. I mean, not that I could think of. So maybe towards the end, I might think of something that was like when I was younger. But recently, that's the best thing I could think of. That like because it's such a Northeast thing, you know, that a lot of people would not know. That's why you were like, "What the hell is that?" You know, and it's like
Well, I
just these
mean-
little different things that call it, but it's so famous. Like there's actually a restaurant near that's Coney Island Texas Wieners or Keystone Texas Wieners. You know, that's like in my city.
Interesting.
You know, and it's just that's the main thing that they sell, and people love it. Coney Island Texas Wieners, people love them.
You know what I have and you don't?
You have In-N-Out Burger.
Yep.
What I call it, the one Inside Out.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think you did call it Inside Out. Did he call it Inside Out
did.
Burger? Yeah, Inside Out Burger.
I was like, I want some Inside Out Burger. That was great. And then do you have Jack in the box near you, right?
Do I have Jack in the Box? It's like the most common. It's like, it's honestly kind of trash, not gonna lie.
Is it?
Yeah, over here at least, it's like, I almost feel like Jack in the Box. Over here, like, one of the better fast food burger joints is probably Carl's Jr. is probably one of the better ones. And then like a second, or even like almost tied with first, but the problem with this place is they don't have drive-throughs a lot, is The Habit. The Habit is really good, but like I said, a lot of them don't have drive-throughs, so it's kind
Didn't
of...
you say Yes loves that place, or that's like her favorite or something?
Dude, The Habit is so good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
yeah.
You've
Oh
talked
wait,
about it
do you have
before.
Hardee's?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't
So
sound familiar.
Carl's Jr. Is called Hardee's in the West or East Coast.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, so, but yeah, good
Well,
little
sweet.
intro.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, well, I guess let's jump right in. I guess we'll talk a little bit about some PvE and I guess what's going on in that world. I mean, again, there's not much. I mean, I know you haven't played. In chat, you feel free to jump in this conversation so we can at least have an idea because Mr. Kamara has not played Destiny in a little bit, and I've been really only playing the PvP side, and I've also been taking a little break from Destiny. But we still try to get all the news and the updates so we could bring it to the discussion and to the table. I guess, have you been keeping up with the story though? Like what's been going on? There's a lot of.
All I know is that every character has some sort of mental issue, and we're going through and cleansing it or something. And it's real sad hours for like every single character in Destiny right now, especially Zavala.
Yeah, I know Zavala's like going through the worst of it, you know. What do you think? I guess this could be a good topic, and we talked a little bit about it on another show, I think, or maybe I didn't talk about it on the TAGcast, but we can bring it up definitely. What do you think is going to be the future of Destiny 2 and Bungie? Like, obviously they're working on another UI, but I believe we only have 2 more years, so until 2024 is like what the contract is with this game. Like, you know, like that's when Lightfall ends, or I'm sorry, the final shape. So like, do you think we're moving on with Destiny 2? Do you think we're gonna move on to a different game? I mean, I know the lore is saying that we're gonna move on from the solar system and we're going through the solar system, but is that gonna be, do you think, in Destiny 2? Or do you think it's gonna be in a different game? And chat, feel free to jump in this conversation, but I'll pass it over to you, Mr. Kamara, and let me know what your thoughts are.
I'm not sure what I think's gonna happen, but what I would like to happen is in my opinion, I'm all with the darkness. I think the Traveler's hiding stuff from us, and I think that the darkness and the Witness is like showing us more of what's happening. Like we saw that the Traveler gave powers to Witch Queen lady, whatever her name is. Yeah, and so they she's helping our enemies, well, what we perceive to be our enemies. And I like I said, I don't know what's going to happen, but what I think is going to happen is time travel with the Vex is going to be some sort of input in this, I guess. Looks like Git agrees too, because like he just said, the Vex we don't really know a lot about the Vex.
Yeah,
they're they're very complex. And yeah, so what I would like to happen is nearing the end of, you know, Destiny 2 or this IP or something, I would like for us to get to choose between a side. And that choice, we've had these choices kind of before, where you like side with the Drifter or side with, you know, Zavala or whatever, and it was cool, but it literally didn't change anything. I want something where you choose a side and it changes, and it changes dramatically, and you go on to these different like sides, but obviously it's story, so you can hop on another character and go do the other side and everything. But I would like to see us be like split up and divided almost on what we like think would happen, or on what we like kind of side with. Like I said, I would side with the darkness totally, because there's so much stuff that like we don't know, and there's a lot of change, and there's a lot of lies we don't know, and obviously there's probably some lies coming from the darkness as well, but what are you gonna do about it?
True.
But yeah, I would like to see, I wouldn't say an end, but some sort of a close to Destiny 2. And then what I would hope for, and what possibly could happen, is more or like a different game, but it's in the same universe, you know what I mean? And it might not be called Destiny, but it's in the Destiny universe, and it could be called something else, where you're doing something else, whether it be in the past or in the future of whatever events we're doing right now. I think it could open for a lot of stuff, because there's a shit load of lore in Destiny, and I think, I don't know, who knows, I mean, we're aware of they're making like a show or something, or a movie, if I'm not incorrect.
Something. They're moving into the cinema world. Whether it's gonna be a TV show is, I don't think, yet to be decided, but somewhere along there.
And they could almost do something like what Destiny's or Disney's doing, where they have like the Star Wars universe, but they're making all these shows and all these things like based off of the universe, and things that you've never like seen, you've only heard of. And so, like I said, you could almost go into the past, like whenever, you know, the 3 witch sisters or whatever they are for the Hive like were a thing, and before like all of this started, you know what I mean? You can do so much, and there's a lot for you to kind of move on and expand on. But I don't know. There's a lot that could happen. Like I said, I don't really know what's going on right now in the story. But I would like for us to pick sides and let us explore our own thing instead of everyone doing the same thing. And then later on have a new IP, but just make it in the Destiny universe. And that obviously brings its own challenges because you don't want to straight up copy Destiny 2. You don't want to just be like, hey, here's another game that's called like something totally different, but hey, you have these abilities still. So there's that. I don't know. It would be a challenge, but the window's open for many, many opportunities.
Right. And like, it's funny, like I wasn't a streamer, when I said this, but I had conversations with like some friends I had, and it kind of happened during the Red War. This was during Destiny 1. I said I would love to see like the Taken. So I said like this, and I'm kind of going backwards, but I'm going to go back to my whole point, in a second, is that I wanted the Taken to like invade the tower. And I said, like, I want, like, like the Taken to evade the tower, and all of a sudden kind of like where we have to run out and we have to fight and stuff like that. Now, this is before Destiny 2 is even released, and what's going to happen with the tower, I don't have any idea at that point. I said, oh, like the Taken would be cool, we fight in the tower, and something. And then you have the Red War that comes, and then it's like, oh, cool, okay, the tower is literally being invaded. I want to see a civil war against the Guardians. I want to see kind of just like you said. I want to see
a division,
a light versus dark war. I want to see all of a sudden where we're fighting other. Now, don't make it through. I mean, PvP is already Guardian versus Guardian. Like that's fine,
Yeah, but you can have it now as like a guild. Like if you sided with dark, you're on this team with all your dark teammates.
Right.
If you're with the light side, then you're on the light.
And that's how you do like a battle royale or something like that.
Yeah,
kind of like there has been talk like of not through Bungie, but like the community's interest of maybe possibly having a Destiny battle
like a
royale.
ground war.
Right, like kind of like a Battlefield situation, where you just have you have the light now Guardians versus the dark, and that's a part of the Civil War. But the story is we're fighting, and all of a sudden the Traveler kind of breaks off, and it becomes half like kind of like a solar eclipse kind of thing, but except it's half dark, half light, or half light, and we have a civil war against each other, whether it's in the tower and we destroy the tower and we're fighting in there, would just be so cool. And you're fighting against basically Guardian AIs, that are part of your dark or whatever, and you could evolve through PvP and the overworld as fighting other Guardians that are on the dark side that are partnering with the Vex, because you really think about it, the Fallen and the Cabal are on the light side, more of the light side, and the Vex and the Hive and Taken are on the dark side. They're all a part of the darkness in some way, but I think the Fallen and the Cabal, because we've worked closely with them on everything. We've worked with them to, work with the light, and they've worked with us, and they've been in the tower, So I think, but we haven't worked with the head Vex or the Hive, there's always at least one house or one unit, I guess, depending on what other races call them. I know the Fallen call them houses,
yeah, I would just say houses.
Right, let's just say houses, within every, that is a part of some of the light in some sort, that like want to be good. So I have a feeling eventually we might work with those light forces upon each race, but like Gid said, the only thing that's really not understood is the Vex. We know so much about the Hive. The Hive is the most we know about. Then Fallen would probably, honestly, Cabal would be next. Then Fallen.
Well, I think that's what we're doing now. I think we're learning about them more now.
Right.
We've been working with them for the last like 3-4 seasons or something.
Right.
We've been working with them for a while.
Right, and it's like because I like that because I call it like a TV show, and every new season's the next episode. It's a continuation.
Well, we've also worked with Fallen as well.
Right, we worked on Fallen with Season of the Splicer, but the Vex is one that like I want a Vex. I want Lightfall to be a Vex DLC. I do. I want.
I'm sure
I want
it will.
I want there to be a new Vex raid, not just a copy. I mean, there's no other Vex raid besides Vault of Glass, and that's already into the game. But I would love to see a new Vex raid with a Vex, like the Gate Lord, like bring him back, as like this big enemy boss. Like he's just like, I mean, I you want to call him the Gate Lord, but he's something completely different,
Right.
But like, and just have us now figure out the Vex. Like, let's learn about Vex technology, and like you said, I think Vex time travel is going to become a huge play, into the universe. But like I said, I think we are at a point, and I saw a YouTuber say this on Twitter the other day, that Destiny Nostalgia. There's an account called Destiny Nostalgia, and it brings back like all the Destiny nostalgia stuff, like from whether it's Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, and it just makes you like, they'll post pictures and you'll be like, wow, I remember those days, like you played, like, and you're like, oh wow, like No Land Beyond, like they'll post sometimes and they'll be like, oh wow, I remember using that sniper, or whatever the case.
Right.
And he said that we need a new way of playing Destiny 2. We have been playing Destiny 2 the same way for a long time, and it's getting really boring and repetitive. It's like, I want to find a new way to play the game, but it feels like that I can't. It's like I'm playing the same thing. So maybe does this light versus dark and like choosing your side, going into the next game or next era of Destiny is going to maybe hopefully break that. But that's still 2 years from now. Like, again, as I've said before in other episodes and conversations with you and other people, I said, you if you're going to be in a live service game, you need to update this game constantly. You need to constantly push updates and patches and different things. I'm not saying it needs to be every day. It needs to be a new season. A new season, new storyline. But we should gradually be seeing something going towards that direction. So if they're going to a direction of possible civil war against the Guardians, light versus dark, I really think we should be seeing that progression, and we haven't yet. And we've been just seeing the same thing. It's just the same. Every Tuesday, new mission. Okay, we do the mission real quick. It's a quest. Okay, we do that. We have a little bit of dialogue. That's it. Move on. And it's like, it just gets really boring and repetitive. And it's like,
the base of it.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. You're fine. I was really going to probably just ramble back on. So go ahead. What were you going to say?
The base of it is seasonal. There's just season passes in general, and just having a season. You're drip feeding content, and it wasn't. Remember, it used to not be like, hey, here's one story mission every week. It is now, or I'm sorry, it wasn't like that, right? It was just like, I think the first couple of seasons, it was just like, there was like, I don't know, I could be wrong, like community objectives or something, and to like progress the story and everything. And I like that, but it's just this whole thing of like, you're dripping, like you're dropping a drop of water in my cage, right? And I go and lick it up, and then I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Oh, I gotta wait next week to have another drop of water. Oh, next week comes drop of water, and it's just like, it's annoying. There's nothing for me to do. There's no, like, the story's cool and all, but I'm not gonna want to do it after 3 weeks. I'm not gonna want to log on and do something, and then once I do it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Now what do I do? It's like, what is this, dude?
Like I said, and even like, Bungie needs in my opinion, Bungie needs a whole UI change. And I'm really hoping, like I keep saying, with this partnership with Sony that goes in effect this fall, I'm really hoping that Sony gives them a budget or a grant that lets them update their UI. That includes website, third-party apps, in-game stuff. Like, like one of the things is like, that, like, I see so many people in Twitch chats, like when somebody doesn't know something and people will like, scream at them, like, or all in caps, like, it's in the TWAB, like if people keep asking the same question. But it's like, do you really expect everybody to go and dive in and deep read this TWAB?
Right.
No. There has to be some other things in games. I mean, there's a little bit of tips on the bottom of your screen when you're flying into locations, but like, that's not enough. Like, there should be in-game stuff where you can see. So like, that's a part of the UI update, and then changing the way we play. I don't know how Bungie, because again, I said before, there is so much lore in this game, like like Destiny is such a unique game. The combination of PvE and PvP and a little bit of a mixed game mode, that's both. Like, how often do you get that in games? That you get a mix of both. It's such a unique game, and that they can do so much more with it, but I don't know why they don't. And again, I don't know if they don't have resources or the time or whatever the case is. I don't know. We don't work for Bungie, and Bungie doesn't tell us that. That's not for us really, I guess, to know. That's for them and their teams to manage and worry about, but there's so much lore that we could, like, that we can go back and we can time travel. Like, let us find Vex time travel and let us go back and let us choose where we want to go visit and we want to go explore. Like, for me, my favorite war of the whole Destiny universe is the Book of Sorrows, the Hive versus the Vex war. Like where the Vex invade Oryx's throne world. I love that. And I want to learn more about that, though. So I want to be able to time travel, a Vex time travel, and go back to that and see it all happen and see a Vex Hive war and see if I can prevent it, you know?
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, like, you know, and again, I don't know, like, again, this game, like, you know, you can't make this game too big where it's like, you know, 700 gigabytes, you know, to download.
Right.
Like, I understand that, you know, games have limits, you know, they don't have infinite resources and money and time. I understand that. I'm cool with that. You know, no game has that, you know, but you can just get so much more creative between your lore and your storyline and your PvP and just everything, you know, and they just don't. That Bungie doesn't like to take risks, you know, and like I said, you know, Bungie wants to always, like, you know, I'm talking a little bit now on the PvP side. Like, for instance, they want to not, like, if there's a problem in PvP, unless it's like a serious, like, game breaking problem, they don't want to nerf it. They want to put it on, they want to test it, and then they want to put it on their checklist when they do a big patch.
Right.
And then they do other things. Bungie, like, every Tuesday, I know there's been like patch and like maintenance, but there should be something that's broken fixed. Like melee latency. Like, that has been such a problem for so long. Why hasn't that been fixed or even addressed?
Yeah, but
you know,
so that anything with like melee stuff and like kill trades and all that stuff, unfortunately, the only way to fix that is by using a different what's the word I'm looking for? It's what like Unity is, right? It's the game generator development area. It's like how what is Destiny made with? Let's see. I think Bungie might have their own. But like, you know what Unity is, right? It's like whenever you open Assassin's Creed and then it's like powered by Unity. That's the game engine.
Yeah.
So depending on what game engine you use, there's going to be latency problems.
Sure.
And the problem with them switching game engines is the game will not look the same on any other game engine. That's the thing. And I completely understand the frustration behind, like, because of the melee, like, not like the melee misses, the kill trading on some ridiculous shit. It's annoying, but like, unfortunately, I don't think they really can do much unless they want to switch engines, and that's gonna be a whole, you're gonna have to hire new people for that. You're gonna have to get like a whole new team together, everything, and for people that know that engine. But yeah, I think they're trying to almost focus on the story and like wrapping up Destiny rather than fixing the problems, is almost what I see. But again, I haven't played the game in a while, so my opinion could be very incorrect. But I just think that they're trying to like make the story good, which it is good. It's just I don't want to have to be forced back every week to play. Like, I should almost be able to play the whole entire story if I truly wanted to.
Right, like, give us that for every season and let us play gradually as we want. You know, not every, like, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. I feel like I have to log on to do it. You know, and yeah, I could do it during that week, like, you know, but like, you know, like you're kind of making like players be forced to go back on that week, you know. So yeah, I definitely can see that, and I agree definitely with your opinion. I think they're trying to, but you know, Bungie needs to then, you know, Bungie waits a lot on transparency, and I definitely believe by the end of the summer we're probably going to have an update on where we're going. But they need to at least announce that says, like, you know, like on the Bungie official Twitter, you know, they need to announce a lot more news. Like, to me, the Bungie account should be like, or even just a Destiny 2 account if you don't want to do the Bungie account, you know, just be like, you know, we have a, you know, like, you know how they kind of streamers, when they have announcements, they post like what date they're gonna announce and stuff. Like King Gathalion,
like,
for
big
example.
announcement coming, blah blah blah.
Right, big announcement. Like, he posted a video and it was like a minute and a half, and it just said July 4th, 2022, and that was it. And it was his gaming room. So does that mean he's moving back to Twitch because he's on Facebook Gaming? Does it mean he's done with streaming? Does it mean he's moving to something else? Like, what you know, what is his announcement? Is it just a partnership announcement? No one knows. So Bungie should be doing something like that. It says like August 24th, 2022, big announcement. That just gives us like a mindset of like, okay, Bungie has something, or, you know, the future of Destiny 2 will be revealed on August 24th at twitch.tv/Bungie, something like that. Okay, that gives us a timeline to figure out when, you know, when they're releasing. It gives people, okay, when can I sit down and watch, and what can I expect? you know, and I think Bungie just waits and like maybe gives us like a week notice, like, okay, hey, you know, or they'll just
Right.
release it one morning and it's like, here you go, here's the update. It's like, whoa, not like I'm busy at work, I can't sit down and read it. Like at least if I have time, it's like, okay, I can block out schedules, you know, and be like, oh, okay, let me have 20 minutes to sit down and read this, you know, if because it's a big, you know, update, you know, or whatever. But I really think that sooner rather than later, they need to give an update. Are we moving on from Destiny? Are we continuing Destiny? I mean, they did say before Witch Queen that after Lightfall, I'm sorry, after the final shape, um, Destiny 2 is not ending, but the light versus dark story is ending.
That's what I'm saying. So a whole nother IP set in the
Right.
Destiny universe.
Right, that's what I'm thinking too. So it's like, but it might not be called Destiny 2,
No,
you know,
of course.
or it might be, you know, or I don't know, like, you know, because they say Destiny 2 isn't ending. So does that mean that Destiny 2 isn't literally ending, or yeah, are we going into a new IP that just in the Bungie or in the Destiny universe, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with going to something else. Like we've played this game, like Bungie. You know, I don't think Bungie's ever going to wait this long on a game like this again. I mean, this is it's going to be 10 years in 2024, right? Yeah, 10 years. You know, like that's a long time, especially to be playing the same way. If Bungie updated it and kept it fresh, you know, every year, like all new things or like, you know, new ways to play, not just sometimes the same way. It felt like you had to do the same thing. Like that's the problem that Destiny 1 had. Destiny 1 had basically you literally played, you know, or you went into a room, you scanned your ghost, you defeated 3 waves of enemies, and then you were done.
Yeah.
Like that was a problem in Destiny 1.
It definitely increased the like wellness of mechanics, but yeah, it's getting to that point, like you said, where it's
Right.
it's now like, hey, you gotta go scan something, and then now you have to go get
Right.
this buff to kill this guy. Once you have
Right.
that buff and kill this guy, then now you can move on to the next part where you have to go collect something and do something.
Right, and that's how it's feeling, you know? Like, it's Bungie's job. Like, I know, like, sometimes I feel like Bungie can't win, and sometimes it's on ours. Like some people are just never happy with Destiny, and they're never gonna be.
Of course.
You know? You know, if you're gonna be a PvE, PvP game, you have to find a balance for both. You know, so I get really annoyed with when streamers or even people just say delete PvP from the game or delete PvE from the game or delete Gambit from the game. No, it's Bungie. It's on Bungie to find a balance between all three. They wanted to bring all three of those aspects into the game. That's fine. That's cool. That's great. That's commitment. That's creative. You know, but now you as a company have to find that balance, and you have to put the same amount of energy you put in the PvE to PvP. That means having a dedicated team to it. That means having the same funds towards it. You know, I don't care if one has a little bit more funds than the other, because I get it. The PvE makes the money because of the DLCs and stuff. So fine, put a little bit more funds towards that, and then a little bit less to PvP/Gambit, because those are free to play. That's fine, but you as a company need to find dedicated teams and managers to manage that aspect of the game. You know, because when they say, "Oh, the teams dig into it," what team? It feels like all of Bungie's the team, and it's like, yes, that's cool, but do we have a PvP team that's looking into trials, or do we have people who make raids looking into trials?
Right.
You know, we don't really know that aspect, and it's like, who is the team? You know, there's no reason to me why we shouldn't have a community manager that relates everything only to PvP, in my opinion.
No, I
And if
agree.
I had a degree that, you know, 'cause I'm going to be graduating in 2 years with a media and journalism degree, you know, and emergent media is my degree, which is like, you know, social media, website design, and learning all new media technology, you know, I would totally apply for that position. I would totally. So I can be the community person that relays all information to Bungie, you know? Or I'm sorry, relates all information about PvP to the community.
Right.
But like, there's no reason why Bungie shouldn't have that, you know? And again, you know, they need to put those. I'm sure if they put that, you will get qualified people that come in and want to apply for that, you know? And they do checks, and they're not just going to hire some random, you know, because, you know, so many of the PvP sweat lords will be applying to that, you know, and they're going to do checks, and they're going to look at resumes. They're like, okay, this person's qualified. They've had this many communication stuff, but we look at them and like, oh, they play a fair amount of PvP, you know? I think we can include them into the team that can relay all information about PvP and give feedback and updates on how to improve the player versus player experience. But do not, and this goes to all of our viewers, if you are someone out there that is like, oh, this is a PvE only game, or this is a PvP only game, or this is a Gambit only game, which I don't really see any people saying that, but, you know, you are wrong. It's an all three aspect game. The game needs to function with all three. You know, we make the PvP side makes almost up just is just under the amount of PvE players. So if you take away the PvP player or the PvP, hey, you're losing half your population in the game, which means finding matches to strikes and to nightfalls and to, loading into activities are going to be slower. It's going to, you're not going to have a big population in the game. And that's just fact. I don't need to be a game dev to understand that, it's just, that's just how it's going to be,
I think kind of jumping back a tiny bit. Damn it, what was I gonna say? I had this all lined up. Oh yeah.
Come on,
okay, so jumping back to like Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, probably the start of it, I would say. I think that their main focus, this whole entire thing, was going to just be mainly PvE, because they have a story that they want to tell. They have all this stuff, and they slowly started introducing PvP. And I think the entirety of Destiny 1 up until probably nearing the end of Destiny 1, they were like, maybe we should start looking into PvP more because people are wanting it more. And so they started allocating resources to making PvP a thing and actually making it what the players want. The problem is, though, is I think Destiny is always going to mainly be a PvE game. And I think right now they're trying to make it a PvE and PvP game, but that brings changes, right? And those changes aren't very simple. They're not so black and white. You can't just say, hey, this is this and this is good. You're not going to make everyone happy, and it requires a lot of testing, especially with the amount of shit that's going on in this game right now. And I think, God damn it, I lost my train of thought.
I hate that.
I hate it so much. So whenever just recently, like I said, probably nearing the end of Destiny 1, start of Destiny 2, they started to work on it more. And I think they've slowly been working on it, but I think they've been putting more resources to PvE, but they are putting more resources than before into PvP. Now the question is are they working on a bunch of stuff that they're not telling us? Possibly, because it's been so long without any sort of major, I wouldn't say DLC, but any, new content. They could be possibly working on a massive revamp. And it shows it because they recently just did Trials Labs, and they're doing it again with this next week with Freelance. They're testing these things.
And they're doing right now Zone Controls, which is a part of Crucible Labs.
Right.
Which is like a game mode from D1 for those who don't know. By the way, Rolling Thunder, who is the Destiny 2 lore master for TA Guardians, he has just followed the Twitch chat, so welcome in. Sorry, just wanted to kind of give that a shout out. We will have eventually alerts set up, but that's not definitely on our top priority right this minute, but hopefully within the next few weeks we will have them all situated. But yes, I definitely agree with you, like putting yes, I totally agree with that. That is, yes, always going to be probably a mainly PvE game. I'm cool with that, but you gotta give love to the same, and I know that, of course Bungie has to give the same amount of love. I get it. Okay, so Bungie is honestly for the most part hit their PvE on the head with their content. There's obviously some things like we're talking about the repetitiveness, and like forcing us kind of to log on every week, at the same, time, to complete the story. That's frustrating. But for the most part, in the all scheme of things, what up, Donnie, who is also the director of events for TA Guardians? He says, "Hey, sexies."
What up, sexy?
What up, Donnie? What up, sexier? Frick, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
You were talking about Destiny.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
You're talking about the allocation of resources between PvE and PvP, and how now that they need to do it more because it's being requested more.
Yes, right. So like I'm, like I said, I'm cool with having it mainly a PvE game, but you have to now. Oh yeah, that's what I was really saying. They've hit the head. They hit it on the head with PvE for the most part. Again, there's a few minor things, but honestly, it's not that bad. So now it's time. Okay, you have a season, and put honestly, rolling. Sorry, I gotta fix Nightbot. Nightbot's kind of rude in our chat. My bad. Um. Anyway, you know, they. Freaking, I lost my train of thought again. God damn, I gotta stop looking at chat until I finish my thought. You know, you need to put a lot of content in the season and say, okay, here you go. We're gonna go work on PvP for a little bit while you guys are satisfied and try to get a revamp. Then when the revamp is done of PvP, we can say, okay, let's focus back to PvP and kind of doing a jump back and forth. You know, and then obviously and then Gambit too. You gotta include Gambit. You know, and then be like, okay, like now they're working on Gambit. Listen, bro, I just said we can't be saying that. Come on, be a good influence. No, I'm kidding. But no, I do see. Like I said, Bungie, even before, honestly, before Gambit was dropped, they were already having a hard time between PvE and PvP. So it was kind of rough for Bungie just to just bring in Gambit, like when they didn't have a good balance of PvE PvP yet. You know, I think if they had a good balance and they said, okay, let's try some, or just have like a new lab experiment, Gambit, and let's just see how it goes and see if people really like it, and then we can add a team. But there's another thing. Why doesn't Gambit have their own team to work on it? That can work on something that can have a good balance between the two. And then you have a PvP team that's dedicated to just that. And again, is it because they're probably just trying to wrap up Destiny? Possibly. But then tell us that. Say, like, let us know what your next project is. Like Bungie, like, I love that Bungie tweets out, like, you know, every once in a while, like, Bungie all in caps. But it's like, that's kind of just throwing it in our face. Like, you're not telling us anything, but hey, we know something that you don't. And it kind of gets really annoying, and I get kind of like, peed off by it just a little bit. I'm like, you know, we've been in the dark for quite some time on the future of Destiny and where we're heading on a lot of things, but you all know something and you're just throwing it in our face because we don't know. Yeah. And it kind of annoys me a little bit, you know, and I'm kind of like, okay, if you know something so much and if you have all this cool exciting stuff, like, why can't we know? Like, as a community, don't we have the right to know? I'm not saying don't tell us on everything, but just like really, they didn't let us know what subclass we were going to be using until the day of. I would have liked to know a little bit ahead, because especially for some people, they want to see, okay, what kind of builds I want to use, something to look forward to, and look forward to the new season with the Solar 3.0 update. Obviously, we know that Arc 3.0 is coming next, you know, unless it's Stasis 4.0 is coming that we don't know. I don't know. No. You know, I doubt that too, but you know, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that, you know, it's like, well, what are your plans, you know?
Yeah. So I think, like I said, I don't know what I don't have any predictions for the future, because this game could go in a lot of different ways, but I think with them drip feeding content also gives them time to work on future ideas like a better PvP. And I think that's also what they're doing. They're taking advantage of a seasonal content where you can prepare an entire season story and cutscenes in just a little bit of time, because you're releasing it once every week. And it's not a lot of content. It's a few cutscenes here and there, and some assets that you've already made that you're just placing in a same spot of a same area that we've already been through. You know what I mean? Right. Obviously it takes some skill and time, and it's hard to create all that and all that stuff. But right. I think that they're taking that time to really go out with a bang on Destiny. And I think soon they are going to come out with something that is really going to hopefully impress the PvP group. But I mean, who knows? Maybe even their next IP is super like PvP heavy. You know what I mean? It could just be like super heavy, and then what they do is, you know, just have Destiny 2 be like a PvE game, and then your new IP is more PvP than PvE, and who knows, maybe a hit.
Right. And that's one of the talks, like that was originally when a leak went out on IGN or something a few years ago, and it was about Matter. It was like 2 years ago, and the game Matter was possibly going to be a PvP only game for Destiny, you know, through Bungie. Right. Which I would love to see. But again, I want to know that. I want to know, am I going to be excited for the future as a PvP player, or am I going to be let down? And it's like, I won't be let down. Like, again, I will never be let down by Bungie. You know, Bungie, it continues to amaze me and impress me with just the amount of support that they show towards different communities, like trans lives and Black lives and LGBT, like that just amazes me as just a company, like how I respect the hell out of Bungie. I get a lot of frustration, because of, again, being a PvP player and getting the lack of content. But I, at the end of the day, respect Bungie, and a lot of us should. And some people don't. But I respect Bungie. And when they say, like, stop tweeting out about LGBT and stuff like that, it's like, it's their company. They believe, and rightfully so, it's their job to tweet out about that stuff, and I'm cool with that. So like I respect Bungie, but like, as a PvP player, I should be in the loop now, like, because sorry, I just pulled up Twitter. It said regular PvP in Destiny 2, describing in one word, and someone said fun. Just fun.
Okay.
That's all they said. Someone said Defizzle said agony. Grenader Jake said buckache. What the hell does that even mean?
Oh, don't say it. Nope, don't say it.
What is it?
Yeah, you don't want to know. I'll
Oh,
tell
no.
you after stream.
All
Is
right.
it BUKAKE?
It's BUKKAKE, which I'm assuming.
Okay, yeah, that's the same thing.
Hey,
I must
translate.
have misspelled it.
Oh, I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
I'll tell you after stream.
All right, fine. Okay.
I'll
I'm
tell
in
you
this
after
chat.
stream. No, I totally agree with you, dude. I think one of the better steps that they did was splitting up the sandboxes, and I think that's whenever they really thought, like, hey, we need to start doing something about the two different sides of Destiny.
Right.
I think you guys are in for a treat, in my opinion. I think it'll be good because you can't. They have such a good opportunity here to, I wouldn't say recover, but almost bounce back from the backlash that is PvP. God, I think Rolling might have sent you something that involves that word.
Oh, got it. Oh, check your DMs in a few minutes. Got it. I'll check my DMs while Kamara probably talked. No, I definitely agree with you. I think we are going to be in for a treat, and that's why it's like it's hard to hold on. That's why I want to go find like a temporary game to play. Because like I said, if Bungie does release, or if Destiny 2 has a better PvP or gets a new PvP, just UI, or sorry, not UI, IP, then I will definitely main the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, honestly, just keep the weapons and just get rid of not even get rid of the abilities. I don't mind the abilities. Tone them down. Like, it's frustrating as a PvP player, and I know you don't play much PvP, but from between Arc.0 or not Arc.0, Solar 3.0 and Void 3.0. Okay, my computer buffered for a second, so I thought oh god, there's an image. Oh god, do I want to look at it? Oh god, what the hell is this? The hell is that? It's like a meme. All right, whatever. Anyway, so sorry about that. I'll check that in a few minutes. Break rolling. Don't distract me, bro.
You're the one
All
that
right.
went into Discord.
Yeah, but then I get distracted because I got the notification. Like, it's very frustrating when literally a Titan can put down a shield, which I'm fine with. I'm cool with shields because they were original. Why do you get an overshield after? Why do you, as a warlock, throw a grenade and get an overshield? Why, as a hunter, do you shade step and get an overshield? Why is there so many ways to just get overshields in this game anymore? And then it's like a 3-tap on a hand cannon. I'm just using a hand cannon because I don't know what all auto rifles take to kill, like time to kill wise, but I know a hand cannon is 3-tap, obviously. That's just the easiest example. A hand cannon takes 3-tap, but it might take 4 or 5. And it's like, you don't expect that. Like, it's really frustrating as a player when your gun's supposed to do this and it has to do more because someone has constant overshields and then gets their abilities back 20 seconds later,
Well, it turns the game into an ability simulator.
Right.
I need more bullets being shot rather than, fucking stardust being thrown around.
Right, and that's what's frustrating, it's not an ability, it's not an ability game mode. And what makes Bungie, bringing in the aspect of abilities to PvP and everything like that is cool. I love that, but it shouldn't. The fact that I can, if I'm a bad player, or like I'm a below average, I shouldn't say bad. I'm a below average player, and let's say I'm sitting in the back of the spawn, and I could do everything to heal myself, throw everything, shades up, throw invisible, and I become healed, and I have an overshield, and I can do nothing basically, and throw a little grenade, and you die, coming to rush me or whatever, and I sat at my spawn and did nothing.
Right.
That becomes a problem. Like, how can you do nothing and automatically just basically win your fight, because I don't have overshield. Like, again, I don't build like that. I want to go in Crucible and I want to run around and shoot people, and I get frustrated because I can't even play that way. I gotta adapt and I gotta create crazy builds, or I gotta use every ability to try to win. That's what it feels like, and I'm not an above average player. I'm an average to slightly above average. I'm not, like, I'm a 1.5 this season, which is like, that's above average. It's a pretty good above average, but that's not like, there's some people that are 2, 3s, and 4.0s, that are like really, really good at the game. And that's not me. But it's like, I feel like I gotta, build craft in a way, like not building weapon craft, but just build like my character to adapt that playstyle. And that goes for like the people who jump in air. They had to just adapt their whole gameplay.
Right.
Because of the in-air,
I saw some funny ass clips from that.
Oh my God.
I saw this one of a warlock. Is that the one where he jumps right above him, floats above his head, looks down, no one's moving, and he shoots it, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, there was gigs at GCX. Sorry, not Guardian Con. It's called Gamers Convention. Oh, dude. Yeah, he literally and it's funny. I don't know who Gigs was facing, because I talked about this with Zen. That was the episode you weren't here. I talked about that with Zen. Where Giggs jumped up, and whoever Giggs was facing, like, the opponent knew what he was doing, because it was in front of a live audience against everybody.
Yeah, he just sat below him.
Right, so he just watched him because he wanted to see if he could hit it, and he missed, and Giggs threw his hands up in the air and get the audience like, what is
I would
this?
I would literally get up and walk away after that.
Oh, I would have too. Like, here, I want to go see what, real quick, because DMG kind of like commented on it, like, or whatever, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it on here, because there's not on phone I can search, like, in somebody's, like, I can go to DMG and search, like, Gigs, and it could come up any conversations he had with Gigs, but I can't on PC, and I don't know why. But anyway, he basically, Gigs, or, DMG basically went and said, like, Heat Rises or whatever was not active because he went back and watched the VOD, and he said Heat Rises, but it's like, Gigs literally sat and floated in the air. How can he stay
He's not even moving
long?
In the air.
Right. Like, how, like, where are you seeing that airborne, or I'm sorry, Heat Rises is not procced? Because to me, I'm not a Warlock player, but I know Heat Rises makes you stay and floats in the air like that.
Right.
That's procced. So where are you seeing that that's not procced?
Maybe it ended, like, as he shot.
Would be. But it's like come on.
I'd have to go back and watch it.
I would have to go back and do some investigating myself, But, like, just, we are gods in this game, but we can't hit where our bullets can't go where we aim, and that's what's frustrating. Because, again, as I believe, I'm cool with new light players. I really am. I'm cool. I'm glad that new light players are coming into this game, but you can't cater to the
They have to adjust and learn the game. You can't adjust the game and learn from them.
And Bungie is doing that. They are trying to adapt the game to the new players. And it's like, we were all new in Destiny 1. We all had to learn this game. So let the new light players, they are so afraid. Now, and I saw this a little bit, I saw some, I don't know what streamer it was, but a good player who's like respecting the community and, was doing this as a showcase, and he says, like, this is what who Bungie caters to. And he's right. But on the same token, he's showcasing there's a below average player who's like, can't really hit them. Like, it's really like bot walking and can't really hit them. Like, and they might be learning M&K. They might not be just good or whatever. And he's literally just dodging back and forth, jumping up and down to dodge the bullets, and then just quick scopes them. And I'm like, Bungie sees that, and that's why I could see why Bungie wants to take action. You should not be embarrassing the player like that,
Well, that's why there's PvE. If you're not good at PvP and you're just not good at games generally, then go play PvE. You know what I mean?
Right. You don't have to play PvP. You want to try it, but again, if you want to learn, that's fine. But learn. Stop catering and giving them everything and that's why I think there's so many abilities that allow you to heal yourself and go invisible and do all these things.
There's a lot of options to almost solo everything, and I like it, but it needs to be almost like I don't know if this is a good, maybe not a good thing, but maybe like, let's say you're alone, right? Let's say my Titan bonk hammer. My Titan bonk hammer when I'm alone does like, I don't know, 10% more damage, you know what I mean? And then if you're playing with someone, make it like 5% more damage. Just so that way, like, if you're playing alone, it does a little bit more like damage because you are alone. But whenever you're playing with people, it's not going to be as good because you have other people to rely on for damage and stuff like that. And so, especially in like PvP, like, I agree, there's, especially with Solar 3.0, the amount of like healing over shields that like you can get, there's like healing grenades or like stasis. Remember whenever stasis came out and people were making meme videos because they would melee freeze you and then place their well down and it would freeze you again, and then they would throw their grenade and it would freeze you again, and then they'd pop your super and it would freeze you again. It's like, why is that a thing, man?
Right. That's so, like, you know, anyway, like, I'm not saying that they're I just said hi to TA Guardians, but I meant to do hi to Leah. I'm sorry. Hi. Let's try that one again. That's funny. By the way, I noticed what that means based off his meme.
Oh no, send the meme to me. I want to see what it is.
All right, I got you. Let me see. I'll copy it, but why can I? Hold on.
You want to jump into TWABs? I mean, they're really short and nothing to talk about, but
yeah, we'll jump here in a second. I'm just.
I noticed that there's a free emblem code.
Oh, in the TWAB?
For the last one.
Oh yes, there is. It's an orange one. I think I put that code in.
It's the what's the?
Oh, there's another one. Oh yeah, I have that emblem though.
Yeah, I don't know what the emblem name is. I don't think it says it.
It should say it there. No, maybe not.
It's
Rolling did.
I think it's the Trans Pride emblem.
Yeah, I have that one.
See, yeah. I didn't realize. I'm gonna have to redeem that. I didn't know that they were just giving away codes like that.
Yeah, they did last week too, or 2 weeks ago. One of the two. 2 weeks ago, I think, because we didn't do one last week, so 2 weeks ago there was a code. But yeah, we're gonna jump right. Yeah, right. But you know, like, yeah, we're gonna jump right into 12. We're gonna kind of wrap up. You know, like I said, all scheme of things, you know, Bungie really needs to stop catering to the new light players. I again, you know, one of the things me and Zen talked about, you know, on the PvP special episode was, you know, give like a new light player playlist, you know, for PvP, and let them go and give them like tutorials. So like, let them go learn each game mode. So you have game mode through, like, you know, trials and like Iron Banner, you don't really have to learn because those are just whatever end game content. But like, okay, go learn control. How should you play that? Strikes, go learn how to play strikes or whatever. Raids, like, you know, learn some encounters and stuff. So how you build raids, and let the new light players go through that, and you know, and try to get better at the game. And I don't know if this is like locking them, and again, this is just a simple, you know, solution. This doesn't have to be the end all be all, you know, but they can't get out of that playlist unless they're above a 1.0, and they just learn and they just practice, and it gives them guides to like helping them. How they incorporate that into the game, I don't know. Obviously, that has to be something on their end, you know. What? Go ahead.
It's not, I don't think it's hard to do that. A lot of games do that. You go to Rainbow Six Siege. First time you play, you are placed in lobbies with people that are just starting to play the game. That's it. I think, I mean, there's a few other games, I can't really think of them, but it's not that hard. You just like almost tally up the amount of experience that you've gotten from past PvP and just like compare it to people that are like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this guy's played PvP for an hour. We should place him with another guy that's been playing PvE for like 1 to 2 hours. You know what I mean? They almost have the same experience level. Now, skill level is different.
Right.
You might only be playing the game for an hour and you suck ass at it, and then someone else might be playing for an hour and they're an absolute god at it. Right. At that point, it is what it is.
Right.
And of course, that also becomes that's turning into like experience matchmaking. And then you can also break it up into skill-based matchmaking, connection-based. There's all these things, but I think that you could possibly make a section where it is EX or like XP based, along with your skill and how new you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a placement match. Like you play these games, you play games to see how good you are compared to other people.
Right.
And then they match you with similar skill. It's just skill-based matchmaking. But I think the way it's like how really any competitive like Overwatch does it, Rainbow does it, where you play 10 placement matches and they take your overall score and all that data that you did in those 10 matches and then they put a rank to it. And then now you're playing with other ranks. And then I think in in trials, scratch all that shit. Now I think it should be almost card based.
Right.
Because trials isn't supposed to be easy. I don't think in trials you should be facing, it sucks getting matched against someone that absolutely stomps you, but it kind of happens no matter what. So if you just do a card based matchmaking, you're people that you're fighting for the same thing. Not one person's not at 4 wins and one person's not at 6 wins. You guys are fighting for the same thing, so it feels a little bit better. But it's obviously a lot easier said than done. But
I totally agree with that. Like I said, there's a lot of different things. Like I said, I don't think sixes should, like, again, and I don't know if this is a combination of skill-based matchmaking, lack a low player base, or a little bit of both, and some other factors that I can't think of off the top of my head. But like sixes should not feel like a tourney and like a sweat fest like it does now. And I don't know how you fix that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, that's one of an issue. Is like that's where people don't have fun. It's because you feel like you are playing for $5 million. And now one of the arguments is, well, what, do you not want those people to win? It's like, no, that's not the case. But when it feels like that someone's trying their nuts off, and it feels like if they lose, it's the worst thing. Or when they die like twice, they back out of the game because their KD, they don't want to ruin their KD. That's an issue. Right. And it's like, how do you fix that? I don't know. I don't really have an answer, and I still every day, and I still trying to formulate like what I think sixes can improve on. I don't think, like I said, a skill-based matchmaking. Sixes is going to be a free-for-all, but you need to have balance. Right. You can't just do all mayhem. Again, the game mode mayhem, I'm cool with abilities going everywhere, people being able to have
that's what it's supposed to be. But it almost just feels like you ticked up regular PvP 10%. Like I feel like we already use our abilities a lot.
Right. The only thing we don't get unless you're hackers, you're super right.
Yeah, unless you're using shards of Gallon or some shit.
Right. Exactly. Other than that, your super comes up basically the same, but your abilities you get, like, it feels like every time. Change control, get rid of skill-based matchmaking, and make control where you don't get your super unless you get kills on your guns. Kind of like momentum control. And that's it. And I like, obviously keep the time to kill the same and keep the radar on, but then that's it. I feel like that'll be a really cool trials, or I'm sorry, not trials.
Yeah, where your
Crucible.
super doesn't build.
Right, exactly. It doesn't build unless you get kills.
And you should get more super for weapon kills, less super for ability kills.
Right. I totally agree with that. Like make that the next Crucible Labs. I would love to see that, and I would play the crap out of that. If they made that a Crucible Labs and they put the momentum control aspects of Destiny 2 into that, I would really I would love to see that.
I would love to see like a big game mode. Like I know in Destiny 1 they had it on like 2 maps, and I think you should totally be able to pull out your Sparrow. I think you should. I think it needs to be a big map, not like massive, but a big map, and do like 10v10 or like 15v15. You know what I mean? Like just something like that. Obviously, matchmaking might struggle at some point, but I think it'd be fun to do like a big thing. And I've been saying this for a while too. I think it would be cool to do something with our ships rather than just be cosmetics, like dog fighting or some shit, or
like ship wars or whatever. Like dog fighting in the air. Yeah. Awesome. I totally agree with that. And it was called Combined Arms. It was kind of like that, where you drove around your Sparrow, were able to get off, and there was like these, like the tanks and stuff. Like I think that'd be so cool. Like why aren't we
brings back like Halo PvP, where you could get on a mongoose, you can go drive around and shoot people. Like they should make it where someone could jump on the back of your Sparrow and you just have like a little gunner back there.
Yeah, like why? Like
and it's not hard to kill a Sparrow.
Right. Like we've lost the creative juices of Crucible, and I really hope and I have faith that Bungie's going to bring it back.
There'll be
But Bungie
something.
needs to bring it back. Right. They need to bring it back sooner than later because again, you're going to have people that you're always going to have people that leave the game but then come back. You know, people do that for most
Well,
games.
this is my favorite game. I don't play it anymore really, but I will always come back to it. It'll always be my baby. I will never uninstall it.
Yep,
And
I agree.
yeah, Destiny is literally my absolute favorite game, and it always has been.
And and it always will be for me. I agree. Like I said, you know, I would never leave this game because of friends, the community. Like I you know, I built Tag, you know, and the communities I see,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, like forming through. I'm like, I won't leave this because this is our foundation. So we
Right.
will never drop Destiny or anything Bungie like from TA Guardians. Bungie, like that is as long as I am founder. If I decide if I become too busy and I give it up to someone else, I will make sure that's my one request to never get rid of anything Bungie or Destiny 2 like because that is our foundation we started on. You know,
Yeah,
even
totally.
though people don't play it, that's okay. You know, it's still there on our foundation. We will still do events through it to bring where we came from. You know,
Right.
Guardians is literally in our name, and we will always have that. You know,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say that? And then we're gonna basically move on to TWAB, and then we're gonna kind of wrap up.
No, then we can move on to TWAB if you want. I don't
sure?
really have much to say about it because it's just trials, but
Yeah, I'll kind of go through it and we'll talk a little bit about the takedown stuff, and then that'll be basically it. So I'll kind of wrap up, you know, with TWAB and talk a little bit about trials. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a trials player anywhere on YouTube and you know, listening on YouTube or listening here live on Twitch,
YouTube frog.
yeah, bro. So it says this week at Bungie, we're prepping for even more Trials of Osiris. This time with the return of freelance that solo players can get their quote pew pew on. I love Hippie. Hippie's so funny and upbeat. I love her. She's awesome. Anyway, we've got more patch notes to go over as well as some mental health resources because we know season the haunted storyline is getting a bit hefty.
Oh man.
Okay, so I'm skimming over that. You know, basically just saying, I don't know if you all, but the haunted storyline continues to hit us right in those feels. There are some heavy themes and players from all over the world have been sharing how the ongoing narrative is connected with them and their own stories. Because of that, we just want to make sure you are all okay. So if you would like any help with parsing through those feelings, we've listed some helpful resources for you further down in this TWAB. Use them or don't. It's your choice, but the option is there. Eyes Up Guardian, your mental health is very important. That is very true. You know, take time for yourself. Your mental health is very, very, very important. Take the time away from video games if you need it. Take the time away from, you know, content creation and stuff if that's what you do, or just, you know, and get yourself fully recharged. Like I said, I'm taking a vacation basically after this week. I'm not doing any tag work, any content creation. I'm taking a mini vacation to feel refreshed, and I'm going to come back and feel ready to go play Destiny 2, do TAGcast again, everything. I'll be super, super excited. So that goes for you too. Please take time for yourself and keep yourself healthy. Basically, freelance is back. The first freelance Trials of Osiris weekend for Season of the Haunted is on the way, which means more opportunities to check out the ultra competitive PvP mode for any that are curious about what it has to offer. So that's becoming a meme on Twitter. People are kind of like getting frustrated that Hippie said that, the ultra competitive PvP mode, because of the fact that it's really from the amount of crap that we have, but between the abilities and the lack of like gunplay, it's really not competitive. Like, you know, like Lanza, who's a big streamer, always puts out, he says, why Destiny 2 will never be a competitive game, part 17 or whatever, and it's like him dying to some bullshit.
It's not, well, also that, not only that, but it's at a point where it changes so often, it's hard to, like, because obviously some seasons and some metas are extremely better than the others and more fun to watch and more fun to play, and it's hard to, because it's like, you know, Halo, right? Halo Infinite PvP, it doesn't change a lot, right? Every once in a while they might tweak something here and there, they might make a little bit of a change here and there, but it's not like, oh, all right, scrap everything you know about the meta, brand new weapons, you got to use this to be good, here's all this. And it's like, well, now not only are a lot of the new guns like grindy to get, but you also like almost have to grind for red borders to almost guarantee a good roll on the weapon, because that weapon might not be good if it doesn't have a certain perk. and it's like all these perks are so different. You would almost have to have everybody using the same gun and same perks or same perk pool for it to be like even, really. Like, because in Halo Infinite there's only so many guns that you can use. They don't have fucking perks. You know what I mean? They don't have kill clip, they don't have anything. You just kill them and then you move on.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why is there's so much variety in one weapon. It could make the difference. And it just kind of sucks to lose a tournament because someone is lucky enough to get a better role than you.
Right. And like I said, I said this a little bit with Zen the last time. I said, I don't think Bungie is opposed to like having like some sort of esports thing through their game.
I'm sure they'd like it.
Right. I'm sure they would like it. I don't think it's obviously going to be ever their main focus. No. I think they would eventually, depending on where the route of Destiny 2 goes, have an esports option and like tournaments. I don't think it might not be Bungie sponsored, but I think they would kind of say, hey, there's esports stuff going on, but again, it's on Bungie to to address and say, okay, you make it where like, it feels like I'm a good player, but it feels like I'm not a good player because I die to such cheese and crap. And that's like really demeaning as a good player. Like I know I'm not the best player, but I know I'm not a bad player. I have bad days and I have off days, as everybody does in video games. But it's really annoying when I like just go and I get, literally someone sitting in the back with a DMT, and then all of a sudden, or if I try to rush them, like I can't play long range. They DMT me, and if I pull close range, they put a Titan barricade down. They can shoot through it, and they have an overshield, and then there's nothing I can do.
Right.
And they have like enhanced weapons. Like, how is that fair as a good player that I am, who's someone who's probably playing like that, is not an average player, but can win that fight automatically, basically. And yes, there is ways I can get out of it, and I can strategize, but it's like at that point, I'm kind of screwed. I'm in a bad position,
Yeah, no, I agree.
It becomes really, really, really frustrating. So I definitely could see why people are frustrated at that. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Like, again, it's just something for the Destiny 2 community to complain about, like always,
It's always something.
It's always something. And that's like, that really, come on, you're complaining about her saying ultra competitive PvP mode. Like, I get it. It's not, and it's kind of a slap in the face in a way, but I don't think she meant anything by it. And I don't know why we have to attack her, maybe not directly to her, but just seeing on Twitter.
Well, I'd like to see most of those people write a TWAB.
Yeah, right, exactly. And run this big of a community, basically, or manage this big of a community. Like, it's I don't know how they do it, but it says, we've taken in a lot of feedback about the Trials experience, and because of that, we've learned some important lessons about the player base most involved with competitive experiences like this. We want you to enjoy your time and seeing 14's arena of PvP goodness. We'll keep talking about, and we'll keep taking in that feedback, but for now, enjoy freelance and go make St. 14 smile. He needs it. So, like I said, you want to make Destiny 2 competitive in some way, or have a competitive aspect, like a ranked, that can be through esports, and they can do esports. Bungie can then run their own esports division, right. If they make a good, proper, like they get rid of survival and make a good ranked system, then you can have a competitive esports, and then have quick play. Like I said, get rid of skill-based matchmaking, have it where, you get, the more you get kills, the more abilities you go up. If you get kills with abilities, your super goes less up. But if you get kills with guns, your ability goes more up. And just have it where, I might have one game and I get really stomped, and the next game I destroy. That's the aspect of games. It should not feel like a sweat fest. Oh my god! And it doesn't even feel like sometimes like a sweat fest. Sometimes like I'll get mercy, or I'll mercy the other team. It's like, what? Where's the matchmaking in that?
Yeah, it's very hit or miss.
Right, it's hit or miss, and it needs to be more consistent, the PvP.
I have an idea that I'd like to get your thought on.
Yeah, go for it.
What would you think? So, Fortnite did a no-build thing, right? No building.
Yeah.
What if they just had a game mode of just guns? No abilities, no supers, no grenades, no class abilities, just guns.
I personally, as a PvP player and person who...
And then what you can do as well is don't make it where make it where you spawn in with 2 special shots, right? But have special ammo packs spawning constantly, like in Destiny 1. You know what I mean? Like, make it so where, like, you're like, oh, shot my 2 sniper shots. Oh, I gotta wait till I die or kill someone with special. It's like, oh, I got 2 sniper shots. I can run over to this crate and go grab some more. But obviously everyone else is gonna be fighting for it.
Right. I think that's great. Like, like again, taking risks and trying different modes and trying different things, like, like putting it out there and saying, okay, what if we do this? Why, let's go into the playtest and let's put this. And I agree with that, where it's no abilities, I think the only issue people are going to run into is like, oh, the abilities make up the core aspect of the game.
Of course.
It's not a COD game. You're going to have those people, and I think Bungie's afraid of those people coming out. This is not a COD game, if you want to play just a gun only game, go play COD. And it's like, but you need to have balance. And Bungie wants to sometimes have more fun, but I think the community really wants more balance. I think more balance will lead to more fun. And I don't think Bungie realized that. I think if you balance the PvP more, we are going to have fun overall, because we are playing a balanced game mode that has a good balance of abilities, weapons, special ammo, supers. I mean, I guess that counts as abilities, but like different things, and balance in lobbies, like not having laggy people, not having, like not having a blowout of a game, like a good match, but like doesn't feel like, oh my God, I have to win, or like it's the worst thing ever, if I don't win, but I love that idea of having a different game mode that allows you to not have abilities and just test. Like, I said,
just don't make it a serious game mode. Like how Scorched is not serious at all. And it's like one of those weekly rotations where you don't play it every week. It's just there randomly. Make it one of those where it's just like you can play it and it's like a night. And it's not like, don't make them long ass games where you're just sitting there gunfights only. Make it like, a short objective, or like one team's got to get 50 kills. Like among 6 players, that's not a lot.
Right, among 6 players, no, that's not a lot. And you have a like a 7-minute time limit.
Right, it shouldn't be that long. It's just some sort of fast, different game mode that is not what you normally do. Right, and
I would love that, because I'm tired of playing Control. Like, I'm telling you, I had more fun in Trials than I did in Control. And that was saying something. I played Sunday night. Sunday night was a little rough, because like it was like I was playing good, but it was just, the sweat lords were coming out, so I was like, okay, whatever, But then when I played Monday, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I was actually having a lot of fun. I was hitting some good snipes, and everything, and I was having a lot of fun. So like I just would love them to do different risks and take different leaps. Like I know Trials and Iron Banner had some problems. I honestly think they should have fixed 6s first, because 6s is the core mode, and then you fix the end game mode. I think they worked backwards, which I get it, because I know Trials had some problems. They go between the 3-peaking and the cheaters and everything like that, so I understood that had to take precedent, but like Iron Banner, it was like sucked, but like if they moved it to like that 2-week rotation and maybe next season get the revamp, they should have did the season that they did the revamp for Iron Banner, do the regular Crucible revamp.
Right.
Just new modes, new ways to play, skill-based matchmaking turned off, different things. I really would have loved to see that instead of Iron Banner getting it first. But I'm hoping now that Iron Banner's reworked and that's kind of on a hiatus a little bit. I mean, they're going to fix a little bit of things, so it's ready for July 8th or something, whenever, or July 12th, I think, actually, it comes back. Iron Banner does. They're going to have, like, they're going to fix some things that they took back from last Iron Banner, and I'm hoping after that, it's really, honestly, it's the Crucible rework, a revamp,
Yeah, totally.
Hopefully that becomes a thing. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Like I said, like we said in the beginning, I think we have a special treat coming. It's just a matter of when. Is it a month from now, a week from now? Like Anna Bray said to us when he was on for the first show. He said that he wouldn't be surprised if they have something on the back burner that they're just eventually going to throw out there and say, here you go, shut up, and then we're moving on. Here's all the changes you want. Here's where they are. There you go. Have fun.
That's what they're testing all this for.
Right, and that's why I'm glad that like Crucible, like again, you brought in a game mode from D1, and it's like I understand, because they want people to stop, like, and I'm guilty of this myself, so I'm saying this, and I know I'm guilty of this, so I'm a part of this pool. People don't play the objectives in Destiny 2.
Oh no, well, because they never really had like objective, like it's just been killing. They've
right?
never had like
and stand on its own.
yeah, they've never
you know?
had like an actual objective. So I think it's
Right.
I think it's a move in the right direction because
Yes, I agree.
it gives a different gameplay type to it,
Right.
but
Right.
they need to do it more. They need to have different ways. They need to have different modes.
Honestly, like a capture the flag, I would have liked to see more. Like zone control is like because you brought in something from D1, and I would have liked to see.
Technically, capture the
Well,
flags kind of like Rift.
Yeah, like it kind of is. I don't know. I would have liked to see us hold like kind of like in Halo where we grab a flag and we have to run with it. You know, like a Rift is something, and that's why I think it's in the right direction. I really don't know why they didn't release Rift into the player pool, you know, or into the wild, you know, when they released the season. Like that would have been really helped with PvP content, you know. Same thing with maps. Like that's another thing we really didn't even talk about. Like it's just maps, like the lack of maps that design. Like, you know, how can you build these amazing dungeons but you can't build a few Crucible maps every other season or every season, whatever, you know? Like, you know, I don't know, you know. But again, you know, I don't want to go in too much. That's another whole thing we can rant about for another hour or so about just the lack of like maps, you know, like you know, like I said. But I definitely think the zone control is in the right direction, but I would have liked to see something new, unique, like you said, of, you know, having the no abilities. And I have a feeling, this is just Dr. Snake speaking this, I have a feeling that they will have a no ability something in the future because they have I think they know the feedback of like abilities are a love-hate relationship, and I think if Bungie can find a good balance, like 70-30 it should be 70 guns, 30 abilities.
I agree.
I think that'll be a perfect balance. So it's not, I think right now it's either 50-50 or honestly it might be like the other way,
way
maybe
more.
30.
If I'm playing Solar 3.0 Titan, I'm putting Solar 3.0 Titan with Bonkhammer, I'm running a double special, and one of them's a glaive that I don't use because I have a perk that gets me a buff if I have a glaive on. The other one's a grenade launcher that has blinding nades, and so I blind anything and I'll go hit it with my hammer. I don't get kills anymore with guns.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, and do we really, you know, like me personally, do I blame you for playing that way? No, because it's not Bungie for kind of allowing.
It sucks
like,
playing that way, but it's
sucks,
literally
but
the path of least resistance.
Right, it's the way, whatever is gonna get you the job done, and that's what we've taken into Destiny. It's whatever is gonna get you or get the job done. And if that means so no matter what, like in trials, no matter how you have to play, if you have to be 3-stack bubble titans and it's zone trials, and you just put shields on the wall, you put 3 shields around you and watch every corner, and then, you know, when your bubble comes up, you put, for let's say you get everyone gets their bubbles by round 3, someone puts their bubble on round 3, someone puts their bubble on round 4, and then wins the game, you know, and then or like double bubbles, you know, that's the way you have to win. Then that's how the way you have to win. Is it frustrating? Am I going to curse at you for playing that way? Yes. Do I hate you as a player? Or yes. Do I hate you as a person? No. You know, I meant to say that. I don't hate you as a person. I hate you as a player, and I hate the way you have to play that way. But I don't blame you. I blame Bungie for allowing that.
Yeah, I get
allowing that type of gameplay. But again, that's what makes Destiny so unique, is there's different ways to play it. But the fact that you don't have to shoot a gun to win objectives and win game, whether it's in PvE or PvP, that's just, Bungie needs to change something, you know. That's just not, it shouldn't be allowed, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion, which I'm sure you do. Again, you know, you don't shoot a gun, you know, but you should be able to, you know. Right. So, but anyway, but I guess that's really it on the TWAB, you know. And then they talk about the takedown stuff. We'll have a little bit. I'll put the takedown thing that they're talking about as an actual thing in the TWAB, you know, so you guys can have a little bit of an update on that. But I guess honestly that, and then there's just the known issues that they have, which again you can all find that at the TWAB, which will be linked exclamation mark TWAB in chat, or it'll be in the description of the YouTube video and the Spotify video, or Spotify audio file, I guess, whatever that would be called. So Mr. Kamara, do you have anything to add?
No, other than that they did a movie of the week Destiny mixed with Naruto, which is sick because Naruto's my favorite anime. I'll have to watch that after this. But no, I think we hit all the bases this week. I mean, there's not much going on right now. It's, I think, very dry just because I think they're working on stuff. They got stuff in the works. Yeah. I wouldn't put resources towards, if you really planning something big and you truly have something good, I don't think I'd place resources in places that are living. not thriving. But if you're planning on releasing it soon, then who knows, maybe it'll start thriving. But that's pretty much it for me, though. It was a light week. Change of plans last minute, but
we adapted. Like I said, that's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty much a light week. So we will not be live next Thursday, which would be the 30th, I think. Yeah, we will not be live next Thursday, the 30th, but we will be live back again on. I think that day will be the 7th, but I will not be here. Mr. Kamara will be here with hopefully. I believe Chief Oblivion will be hopefully, as long as technical issues get ironed out, which they should by then. Yeah. I think Chief Oblivion might be on, and maybe we might have a special guest who's not been asked yet, that was in our chat before. Maybe come on and talk a little bit about Destiny lore with you too, and talk a little bit about things. And
I'm gonna have to brush up on it all.
Yeah, brush up on it all and talk and do like a special lore episode and PvE episode. Since again, for those of you who don't know that are new watching, that kind of have watched this far, thank you. Mr. Kamara is the PvE guy who talks a lot about the PvE aspects of the game, because that's mainly what he plays. Where I come in and I talk about the PvP aspects, and we talk, and it's a great blend.
Yeah,
there'll be things I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and then we have no one talking about Gambit because no one plays it. So
yeah, I would love to get a host though eventually and talk Gambit. I would love it, but I just don't. There's not a big population of players.
No, there's not a want to play it. There might be a need, really but there's not a want.
Right. It might be a need, but no one really wants to. But there is some groups, but definitely not a lot of them. So hopefully Gambit gets the love that it deserves as well. I hopefully, maybe make 2 games, have a Gambit only game and a PvP only game, and then make Destiny 2 PvE. But anyway, so me and Kamara might not always agree on certain things about PvE or PvP. He might not agree with what I say sometimes on PvP and vice versa, but we have a good conversation and discussion about it where we don't become hostile towards each other. I still respect his opinion on certain things about PvP, even if I don't agree with him. And same thing he goes if I talk about PvE. So it's a great combination. That's why we love doing TAGcast. We do have a great combination of discussion on both sides of the game that make up the game, mainly, except for Gambit. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We've hit everything. I need to go drink some water because I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit.
Donnie also followed us an hour ago. I'll give thanks. Mrs. Kumar, thank you for the follow. Rolling, thank you for the follow. Donnie, thank you for the follow. Thank you for everyone who hung out in chat. And thank you to all of our listeners offline. I will see you guys on the 7th of July, talking about lore stuff, and we'll dive into probably not Destiny news, more of just background and having fun chatting about it. But yeah, thank you to everyone again from me. I'll let kind of Jake do his thing right now.
Not be back until the 21st.
No, I said Mrs. Kumara, not Mr. But thank you, Mr. Kumara, for the follow as well.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Snake and Mr. Kumar, for being the first ever 2 followers of the channel. Thank you, appreciate you guys. I will not see you guys. I'll be on, like I said, a little break. I'm gonna go on vacation and relax with Honey Sprout, who's in chat, who's my lovely girlfriend. She is coming. I'm going to pick her up on Saturday, and we are spending a few days here at my house, and then we're going back to her house, and then going to her nana's for a week, and then I will be back with some more content on my channel. You can visit me and Mr. Kamara at my channel. For me, twitch.tv/DrSnake098 and Mr. Kamara at twitch.tv/Mr. Kamara. You can follow us both on Twitter at DrSnake098 and Mr. _ Kamara.
Yep, so, 2 underscores because the first ones were taken.
Damn. And Mr. Kamara itself was taken. But maybe one day, that username will be open and available. I'm hoping to eventually just become Dr. Snake. What do you mean not again? Oh, I had to fix Nightbot.
Yeah, Nightbot is pissed.
Yeah, Nightbot's pissed tonight. God, sorry, guys. But thank you so much for following, though, and watching with us. We love this. We love having these conversations with you guys, and we hope to catch you guys all in the next one. Take care, Guardians.